Under India's Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 or the DPDPA, businesses can't just hang on to your personal data forever. They're required to delete it once the purpose for which it was collected has been fulfilled, or if you withdraw consent. Unless, of course, they need to retain your personal data for compliance with a legal obligation. Seems pretty straightforward, right? But here's where it gets interesting. The law goes one step further. Under the DPDPA, the government can actually set different data retention timelines for different kinds of businesses. And the draft Digital Personal Data Protection Rules 2025 or the DPDP rules bring that idea to life. Under these rules, 3 sectors in particular get stricter data retention timelines. E-commerce platforms with at least 2 crore registered users, online gaming intermediaries with at least 50 lakh registered users, and social media platforms with at least 2 crore registered users. These businesses must delete the personal data of inactive users within a maximum of 3 years, even if retaining that data after that period could still be beneficial to them. But there are many flaws with the data retention timelines set out under the DPDP rules. For one, there's no clear reasoning behind the 3-year limit. Around the world, data protection laws like the EU's GDPR, Singapore's Personal Data Protection Act, or Canada's Personal Information Protection and Electronic Documents Act, to name a few, also require businesses to delete data once it's no longer needed. But these laws don't put fixed timelines on retention. They leave it up to businesses to decide when the purpose for which any personal data was collected has been fulfilled. So simply put, there's no regulatory rationale behind the 3-year limit under the DPDP rules. And then there's the fact that this 3-year limit applies only to 3 sectors: e-commerce, social media, and online gaming. Most global data protection laws, like the ones discussed earlier, don't differentiate between sectors when imposing data retention requirements. This makes the DPDP rules a global outlier. And this approach under the DPDP rules also raises a bigger question. Why single out sectors like e-commerce, online gaming, and social media, but not those that handle much more sensitive data? Think back to the ICMR health data leak in 2023. Over 81 crore health records ended up on the dark web. Or go back to the BSNL breach last year. Nearly 278 GB of subscriber data was exposed in that breach. These were massive breaches and raised grave data security concerns. But despite that, sectors like healthcare and telecom don't face the same strict data retention timelines under the DPDP rules. There's also another issue. This 3-year timeline does not reflect how people actually use these platforms. A lot of people today are taking digital detoxes, choosing to log off the internet altogether, sometimes for a few days and sometimes even for months. And it's not rare. One survey in India showed that 8 out of 10 people found digital detoxes helpful. So if anything, this trend might actually be on the rise. So in that scenario, what happens if someone logs back in after a long break and finds all their photos, posts, or shopping history gone? And from the business side, it also means building complex systems that are capable of tracking activity and wiping personal data on time at scale, which isn't easy. This technical complexity also leads to added compliance costs for businesses, which makes it difficult for them to operate seamlessly. Here's the bottom line. The DPDPA was meant to strike a balance, protecting users' privacy while enabling businesses to process the personal data they need to offer their services. But these rigid, sector-specific timelines throw that balance off, and without sufficient regulatory rationale to back them up. The law should just stick to one cardinal principle: let businesses delete personal data once it's no longer required to fulfill the purpose it was collected for. That's it. No arbitrary timelines, no added burden.
This is the SCA Center. If you found this video useful, please like it and share it. You can also follow our LinkedIn page for more explainers and other updates.